Most of us are living in a state of biological contradiction. We possess a mind capable of infinite peace, yet we operate in a constant state of emergency.
We call it stress. We call it the grind. But biologically, it is something more sinister. It is the loop of lack. The habit of scanning our environment, not for what is present, but for what is missing. This loop is reinforced by a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation. The moment we achieve a goal, our brain resets its baseline. The new house, the new promotion, the new relationship, they provide a temporary spike of dopamine. And then the void returns. When you live in the loop of lack, you aren't just unhappy. You are biologically primed for survival. Your brain has forgotten how to thrive because it is too terrified to stop looking for the next threat. But there is a protocol to break this cycle, a biological override that the ancient world understood perfectly. Meet the amygdala, your brain's sentinel. When you focus on lack, the amygdala triggers the HPA axis. This releases cortisol, the stress hormone. In short bursts, cortisol saves your life, but in a chronic state, it is a poison. It shrinks the hippocampus, your center for memory and learning, and keeps you trapped in a state of hypervigilance.
Here is the miracle of the human design. We have the capacity for a top-down override. When we intentionally engage in gratitude, we activate the prefrontal cortex. The PFC is the seat of the higher mind. It doesn't just feel better, it physically inhibits the amygdala. It tells the fear center, you can stand down. We are safe.
This is the essence of neuroplasticity. Hebb's law states, neurons that fire together, wire together. If you spend 10 years practicing the loop of lack, you have built a superhighway to anxiety. But if you begin the gratitude protocol, you begin to prune the old pathways and build a new golden architecture of peace. This shift isn't just in your head. It travels through the vagus nerve, the great wanderer. It slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and tells your entire biological system that the war is over. To understand the hack, we must look at the original language of the New Testament. The Greek word for gratitude is Eucharistia. It is a compound of two words, eu, meaning good, and charis, meaning grace. Gratitude in the biblical sense is not a thank you for a gift. It is the active recognition of grace in the midst of a situation. Consider Paul and Silas, beaten, bloodied, chained in the inner prison. Biologically, their amygdalas should have been screaming. Their cortisol levels should have been at a breaking point. But they did the unthinkable. They sang hymns of praise. This was not a naive optimism. It was a spiritual technology. By praising God in the prison, they were overriding their biological survival response. They used gratitude to shift their internal state, and in doing so, they shifted their external reality. The foundations of the prison shook not because of the singing, but because of the alignment of their minds with the sovereign truth. When God commands us to give thanks in all circumstances, He is not asking for a religious formality. He is giving us the blueprint for mental survival. He is telling us how to protect our brains from the corrosive effects of stress. We are now entering the lab. For the next few minutes, I want you to put down your distractions. Close your eyes if you are in a safe place. We are going to physically initiate the shift from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 8. As you exhale, feel the tension in your shoulders drop. You are telling your vagus nerve that you are safe.
Now, I want you to find one thing in your life right now that is a fixed truth. Not a feeling, but a truth. Perhaps it is the breath in your lungs. Perhaps it is a promise from Scripture. Perhaps it is the fact that you are still here, fighting the good fight. Hold that truth. Feel the warmth of it.
Notice the shift in your chest. Notice the quiet in your mind. This is the Selah moment. This is where the brain is rewired. This is the biological evidence of the spirit's peace.
We do not build a new brain overnight. We do it in phases. For the first 10 days, your only goal is the 3-point audit. Before sleep, record 3 specific gratitudes. You are simply teaching your brain that it is safe to look for the gold. In the second phase, we add the Selah window. 20 minutes of silence and scripture before the world reaches you. You are now actively pruning the anxiety pathways and strengthening the prefrontal cortex. In the final phase, you practice the prison praise. When a crisis hits, you intentionally pivot to gratitude in the moment. You become the architect of your own peace. You were not designed to live in a loop of lack. You were designed for abundance, stewardship, and a sound mind. If you are ready to commit to the 30-day reset, write the words, "I am renewing my mind," in the comments below. Let us know where you are joining us from. Selah. Pause. Reflect. I will see you in the next session.